Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite DraftKings plays for tonight's 4-game slate in the NHL. Let's get right into it. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do, highlighting the games that we have in the NHL tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. We got the Wild taking on the Avalanche here tonight, Red Wings at Coyotes, Stars at Ducks, and the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Seattle Kraken. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like for this 4-game slate tonight. Now, I've mentioned this pretty much all year long. Anytime we're playing the Dallas Stars, I'm really okay rostering any one of their top 3 lines, whether it be the Hintz first line, the Duchesne second line, or this third line here with Wyatt Johnston centering Jamie Benn and Logan Stankoven. These 3 have now played 6 games together, where they've combined for 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points, and 58 shots on net. They had a ceiling game the other night, just absolutely exploded, and I love the upside they offer here once again tonight in this matchup against Anaheim, a team that's allowed 3.48 goals per game this year, the 6th most in the NHL, while having the league's 6th worst penalty kill, hitting at a 76% rate. On top of that, this Ducks team is not afraid to take penalties. They actually lead the entire league at 4.5 per game. Now we're going to see Ben play up on the Stars' number 1 power play, and Johnston and Stankoven playing down on their number 2 power play. And then another line stack that I like targeting here tonight is that first line for the Arizona Coyotes. We're going to have Hayton centering Keller and Schmaltz, and this is really less of a, this line is playing very well right now, and I want to target that, and more so if I like targeting this number 1 power play, considering the matchup. All 3 of these guys here that I'm highlighting are going to play up on the Coyotes' number 1 power play, which is scored at a 29% rate here over their last 6 games, and this Red Wings team that they're playing has really struggled on the penalty kill as of late. In their last 6 games, they've hit at just a 63% rate. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I know we only got a month and a half left here of the regular season, but then we got the playoffs, and I will be making content for that as well. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, I want to kick it off with the forwards, and right at the top, I do got Nathan MacKinnon. Now, I'm not entirely sure how popular he'll be on this 4-game slate. I'd like to think that people are going to gravitate towards him, but he's also very expensive at 10.5k. He has, however, been lights out as of late with 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points, and 65 shots on net in his last 10 games. That's led to him averaging close to 27.5 DraftKings points per game. Plus, he has a point in every single home game for the Avalanche this year. 26 goals, 43 assists, 69 points in 31 games. Truly incredible numbers while playing up on their first line and number 1 power play. I also like Patty Kane here tonight. You can really mix him up with Alex DeBrincat if you wanted to. I like doing a 3-man stack with those 2 and then Gostisbehere on the blue line. Kaner's got 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points in his last 10. I would like him to shoot the puck a little bit more, but clearly been capable of finding the score sheet. And this Arizona team that they're playing tonight has really struggled ever since the All-Star break, going 2-11-2 since that time, where they've allowed 4.21 goals per game with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 69% rate. Now, when it comes to pure value plays at the forward position here tonight, Lehkonen is offering some of the best value in my opinion, largely due to his role up on that first line with MacKinnon and Rantanen, and up on that Avalanche number 1 power play. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points now in his last 10 games. Jared McCann has a hot stick as of late, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points in his last 10, has 30 shots on net during that stretch as well, which has led to him averaging 15.5 DraftKings points per game. Now, this game here between the Jets and Kraken does have an implied total of 5.5 tonight, clearly the lowest on this slate, so I don't expect it to be very high scoring. But again, McCann's got a hot stick right now on their second line and up on the number 1 power play, and I'd be willing to ride that out, especially considering it's a 4-game slate. And on the other side of that game, Sean Monahan stuck out to me. He's centering their second line and playing up on the number 1 power play, and has really had a nice scoring touch ever since being traded to the Jets. He's now got 8 goals, 1 assist, 9 points, and 27 shots on net in his last 10 games. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and one thing I want to mention is I don't have Cale Makar listed on the graphics here today, but he is by far and away the best defenseman, not only on this slate, but in the NHL in my opinion. So yes, if you want to roster him, he's going to be in my player pool. But I also like Sean Durzi here tonight, largely due to how bad that penalty kill's been for the Red Wings as of late. That's where I'm playing him, stacking him up with that forwards on that number 1 power play with the Coyotes, someone who should log around 22 minutes here tonight. Probably not a cash game game consideration and more of a tournament play. Next guy got there then is Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars, a very well-rounded defenseman and definitely someone who can get on the score sheet. 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points now in his last 10 games, but I really like stacking him up with those forwards on that number 1 power play for Dallas tonight. You could even go with Thomas Harley and mix him in with that number 2 power play. Either way, they should get a handful of opportunities tonight against this Ducks team. Again, one that leads the NHL in minor penalties per game. Mentioned Ghost earlier, I like stacking him up with Kaner and DeBrincat on that Red Wings number 1 power play. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points here in his last 10, and Arizona is allowing 4.21 goals per game since the All-Star break, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 69% rate. Now, one thing we need to keep an eye on here tonight is whether or not Vince Dunn is going to be in the lineup for the Seattle Kraken. If he misses again here tonight, we should see Riker Evans up on the number 1 power play, and he's the bare minimum price on DraftKings at $2,500. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you, and I think naturally a lot of people are going to gravitate towards that game between the Jets and Kraken because, again, it has an implied total of 5.5 here tonight, and every other game is sitting at 6.5. But I also wouldn't mind spending up for Justice and Noonan of the Colorado Avalanche. Look, he's only played 6 games here this year where he's 3-2-1, but he does have a save percentage of .929, goals allowed average of 2.33, averaging 19 DraftKings points per game. Some really solid numbers there. Plus, he's coming off back-to-back shutouts, and I really like the momentum that he's carrying. Avalanche are home favorites at -200 here tonight. And then going to that game between the Kraken and Jets, Philip Grubauer has been awesome as of late for the Kraken. If you look at his season stats, they're not all that great, but if you look at his last 6 games here, he's gone 5-1-0 with a save percentage of .943, goals allowed average of 1.63, averaging close to 18 DraftKings points per game. He has seemingly found some confidence within his game, and I'd be willing to ride that out, again, especially considering it's a 4-game slate. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is Alex Kerfoot of the Arizona Coyotes. Been a bit streaky at times this year, but if you look at his game log here as of late, he is clearly capable of getting on the score sheet and very capable of hitting 10-plus DraftKings points. He's not afraid to block shots as a forward, and I really like that. You're going to see him center that second line tonight and play up on the number 2 power play. Now, David Perron has kind of found his game here as of late, too. I don't love that he plays on the 4th line, but does get time on the number 2 power play and been shooting at a significantly higher rate as of late. Hopefully that transfers into tonight's game against the Coyotes. And then Casey Middlestead playing with his new team, very cheap here at $2,900. He should center that second line tonight. Not entirely sure if he's going to get any power play time, but considering the team that he's playing on right now and the wingers that he should be playing with, I like him at this price. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 4-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.